So this repeatable routine, which is just over 10 minutes long, is going to work your core strength and stretch you out a little. Make sure those core muscles are switched on, and then we're going to do a couple of deep big breaths to warm up. So bend the knees, sweep up, big breath in, breathe out to release. Same again. And then the next time round, we're going to add a twist onto each side. So big breath, twist to one side, think of a corkscrew through the spine, lengthen the crown up to the ceiling. And then we'll do the same, big breath in and twist to the other side. For the main part of the warm-up, we're going to do some inchworms. We've got 5 in total. So plant the feet, core muscles in, drop the chin to the chest, collapse the arms and shoulders forwards, gently stretch through the spine. Taking the hands and the knees if you want to, this is your easier level, and come into a plank. You can do a kneeling plank or toe plank, completely up to you. And as you come up and down, you can use those knees as I've just demonstrated here. I'm going to carry on doing the hand and toe version from here on out, but you're welcome to do the knees if you want. Here's inchworm number 2. Mentally work through the spine with these. Be strong with those hands. Settle into a plank for a breath or two, and then gently walk yourself back. With an inchworm, we're warming up obviously through the arms and the shoulders. We're waking up the core, stretching out the spine, also preparing the leg muscles, especially stretching a little down those hamstrings. Remember to keep breathing. Keep your movements fluid and smooth. We've got one more then. Chin to chest collapse forwards. Keep the tummy sucked in all the time, remember, supporting the back as you go. Shoulders away from the ears. Okay. This time we're going to take the knees down to the floor and we're going to do a lunge twist. So bring the right foot forwards, place the left hand on the floor, twist to the right fingers lift up. You can lift that left knee off the floor behind you if you want to. If your neck and shoulder struggles, as always, you can drop the arm behind your back. We're just waking up through the waist here and stretching through the hip flexor on that back leg. Let's go to the other side. So bring the other foot forward. Of course, if you're more experienced, you can keep the knees up and stride through. Completely up to you. Remember that little modification of dropping the arm if you wish. We're going to come back to the knees now. Let's stretch up for the sky. Really lengthen underneath the shoulders. Nice long stretch. Back onto all fours. We're going to do a bear now. So where you curl the toes under and hover the knees. Notice they're just hovering above the floor. Back is nice and flat. Then we push back into a downward facing dog. The knees can be bent here, remember. Try and get a nice straight flat back. Gently back into bear. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Don't hang the head. Lift the chin a fraction when you come back up to the bear. Keep the back of the shoulders nice and flat. Core muscles in. Of course, it gets too much, you can always melt the knees down instead of doing the bear. Here's another add-on. We're going to stretch and reach for the opposite calf or ankle or thigh each time you go back to downward facing dog. Hold each move just for a moment or so, maybe a breath. Acknowledge that stretch. Remember, it's always easier to breathe out as you're moving. When you breathe out, the diaphragm lifts up. It gives the core muscles a lot more space. So breathe out when you move and try to stretch. With these reaches, I've done 3 on each side. It's up to you how many you want to do, depending on how slow or fast you're working. Okay, melting the knees down now. We're going to stretch through the chest, release the arms. We're taking the hands behind, lifting your chin, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. Back onto all fours. We're going to do a twist now. Easy version, wrap one hand around your back and lift up that shoulder. Nice twist through the spine. Back into downward facing dog for that stretch again. Other side then, wrap the hand into the lower back, lift up the shoulder. Really nice stretch this one. And then exhale to stretch back into downward facing dog. Slight little increase next time round. Reach up with the whole arm. It might be too much for some, but others might find it satisfying. If it's too much, of course, drop the hand into the lower back and twist instead. So we'll do the other side. Open out with that nice straight arm. Exhale to press back into downward facing dog. I'm going to lift it up one more time. This time you're going to do a bear. Notice the knees are off the floor, and then do that rotation. Back into down dog. Keep breathing. Tummy muscles scooped in, and then the same on the other side. Either knees down for the original or the bear and the twist for the other side. Once more, popping back into downward facing dog. Releasing now, melt the knees down. And we're going to reach to each side. So take one hand overhead, pull with the other hand. And then we'll simply do the other side. These kneeling stretches, just release through the hands and the shoulders a little bit. You can pause if you need a full rest. So, going back to downward facing dog now, bottom up to the sky. We're going to do three-legged dog. So take one leg off the floor. Knee must point up to the ceiling, and then you lift that hip up, dropping the other, so the foot dangles over the other side. Now, if you can't get your knee to point to the ceiling, I would advise you to keep both feet on the floor. We're going to child's pose before we do the other side. So yeah, if you do find three-legged dog just that little bit too much for you, don't worry. Work on your downward facing dog with both feet on the floor. Take a little look. Lifting the foot, bending the knee points up to the ceiling, and then drop the opposite hip, tilting over to the side. Knees go down, and then we're going to melt down and do cobra next. Laying on your front, take the hands further forwards and wider. Press the hands down, lift the chest up, a little back bend, lift the chin a little, keep those shoulders drawn away from your ears. Coming back down and back onto all fours. We're going to step one, then the other foot forwards. Make sure the feet are hip distance apart, knees as well. Tummy muscles are switched on. We're going to lift up into a chair. Hands together, back nice and straight. Knees are still parallel. Tuck your bottom under slightly and keep the belly button zipped up. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. We're going to twist this chair if you wish. Take the left hand across to the right knee. Lift up the right arm, open the chest to the right hand side, check the knees haven't collapsed, core muscles still switched on. Then we'll come back to a regular chair with those fingers up, but keep the shoulders down. As you exhale, press the feet down and release, drop the arms. Into dancer's pose. Step the right foot back and then lift the foot up, hold on with the right hand, the left arm reaches forwards. Stay your eyes to maintain that balance. Core muscles switched on. Remember to breathe. And then in one swift move, we're going to step that right foot back into warrior one. Hips and shoulders face the short edge of the mat. The knee is above the heel. Wrap those tummy muscles around your waist. The foot at the back can either be at a diagonal like mine is here, or slightly harder version, you can go into a lunging position. Take the heel off and drop the hips down a little. Core muscles switched on, fingers lift up, shoulders drop down. Breathe, settle and balance. Core muscles switched on all the time. Let's release down from there. Plant the back foot down. And we're going to turn to the other side. So the feet pretty much stay where they are, they just turn to the other side. So check the knee. Hips and shoulders facing forwards, back foot's at a diagonal or heel lifted like we did before. Drop the hips a little if you can go into that lunge. Wrap those tummy muscles up nice and firm. Float fingers and eyes up to the skies, but keep those shoulders down. Remember to breathe. Allow the hip to strengthen and lengthen. Allow the core muscles to hold you sturdy. Releasing down from there, we're going to go into dancer's pose. So stepping that left foot forward, steady yourself, and then lift it up again behind you. Left hand holds the left leg, right arm reaches forwards. Just stare those eyes, maintain that balance if you can, tummy muscles working as well. And then when you come down, we're going to finish off with chair. So feet and knees are hip distance apart, your bottom's tucked under, your core muscles are in, shoulders are drawn down, that back is in a nice super straight position. And then we're going to twist, we're going to take the right hand across to the left knee, lift the left arm up, open the chest up to the side, make sure the knees stay parallel, core muscles are switched on. Coming back to a regular chair, lift those fingers. And then when you next breathe out, push the feet down, release the arms. You're ready to then turn around, you're back where we started, and if you wish, you can do the whole thing through as many times as you wish. Thanks everyone, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.